As a creator, creating something in public, criticism will come. And how do we handle criticism without losing our identity? If criticism scares you, if negative comments hit hard, if judgment makes you question yourself, it's not because you're weak, it's because no one ever taught you how to stay rooted in your identity when others project theirs. Let's fix that. Welcome back. I am Dr. Sherman Rivers, and today we're breaking down a truth that every creator must master. Criticism isn't dangerous, but losing yourself to criticism is. Criticism only hurts when it shakes your identity. Once your identity becomes stable, criticism loses its power. Let's break this open. Criticism hurts when identity is external. Criticism feels painful when your worth is tied to approval, or your confidence is tied to positive feedback, or your identity is tied to how people see you. Your decisions rely on other people's opinions, or your expression is shaped by validation. When your sense of self lives outside of you, criticism becomes a threat because it threatens your identity. But when your identity is internal, criticism becomes information, not injury. See, criticism is a projection, not a reflection. Most criticism is not about you. It's about the critic's insecurities, the critic's fears, the critic's worldview, the critic's biases, the critic's emotional state, the critic's unmet needs, the critic's identity, the critic's pain. People comment from the level of consciousness they live in. Criticism reveals more about them than it does about you. The danger is that negative feedback activates old wounds, not present reality. Criticism hits hardest when it echoes old rejection or old shame or old embarrassment or old failure, old disapproval, or old wounds from childhood, old memories of being criticized. The nervous system reacts as if the past is happening again. This is why criticism feels emotional, even when it's coming from strangers online. You're not responding to the comment, you're responding to the wound it touches. Once the wound heals, criticism becomes weightless. You see, you don't need to toughen up. You need to anchor in. Creators are taught to grow thick skin or ignore the haters. Stop caring. Just brush it off. But suppression isn't strength. Real strength comes from identity anchoring. When you're anchored in who you are, criticism doesn't destabilize you, and judgment doesn't change your truth, and negativity doesn't define you. Feedback doesn't shape your identity. Projection doesn't become your reality. You stay grounded, you stay centered, you stay you. Identity anchoring is the key to handling criticism. To anchor your identity, ask, who am I, independent of external opinions? Define yourself from the inside. Ask, does this criticism align with my truth? Most of it won't. Ask, is this feedback about me or about them? Then the projection becomes obvious once you ask. Ask, what part of me is reacting? Usually a younger wound, not the adult creator. And ask, what identity do I choose right now? You choose who you become. Anchoring turns criticism into clarity. Here's a 3-step method to stay grounded during criticism. Here's how to handle criticism in real time. Step 1, pause the emotional reaction. Just breathe. Exhale slowly. Let that initial shock pass by. And this moves you out of the wound and into your present identity. Now, step 2, reclaim your center. Say internally, this does not define me. Your identity belongs to you, not a stranger online. And step 3, respond from alignment, not emotion. Use one of 3 paths. Ignore, which is the most powerful. Learn, if the feedback is useful, or release, if it's a projection. You don't need to defend yourself. You don't need to argue. You don't need to explain. Identity is your shield. So think about this. Criticism stops hurting when you stop outsourcing your identity. Your identity is internal. Your power is internal. Your truth is internal. When you remain anchored in who you are, criticism cannot pull you off center. Next up in this micro series, we'll talk about how to stay grounded as your visibility increases.